So today I'd like to talk about how you're delivering feedback, and I'd also like to talk about Gary Vaynerchuk's new book, 12 and a half. So if you have any thoughts, comments, or questions, please feel free to join the discussion down below in the comments. And if you end up finding this topic interesting, please feel free to hit the like button. So the other day I was in a meeting and someone was late, so the person running the meeting took time out of the meeting to give the person feedback on how it's unacceptable to be late and, basically giving the person feedback in a way that they got the point across that it's not okay to be late, but it almost seemed more harsh than was necessary. And it's good to inform someone of what they did wrong and what needs to happen, but there's a difference between saying, hey, Bill, you're late, this isn't okay, if it happens again, you're fired. There's a difference between that and, hey, Bill, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, there's no excuses. If you keep up like this, fuck you and get the fuck out of here. Like, there's, certain ways that are, can get the point across and may or may not be more appropriate than others. And not necessarily more appropriate, but there's kinder ways you can do it, I guess. And sometimes, depending on like the relationship with people, sometimes you need to give them that tough love. Sometimes you need the kinder, softer way, and sometimes you have to find that middle ground that's, part tough love and part, easier, softer. Like there's, every person, relationship, situation's different, so, there is some balance to be found for, every particular situation with every person. And a day or so after this situation happened where the person got feedback on, being late, I started reading Gary Vaynerchuk's new book, 12 and a half. In the introduction, it kind of talks about 12 soft skills and, emotional intelligence compared to like data and more tangible business indicators, and so the ironically the half in the 12 and a half, or Gary Vee's My Half, was kind candor, which I found interesting after that situation that, oh, hey, here's this book that talks about feedback, in addition to, some other soft skills. And the section on in the introduction on My Candor, Gary Vee talks about how it took him a while to kind of figure that out, and that there were probably some people out there that probably needed some feedback that he didn't give, so they probably hated him for that because, you know, he fired them or it caused them to quit because he didn't give them that feedback. But then there's, you know, you have to take into consideration when you're giving feedback, you know, how, like I said earlier, how you're doing it. Are you doing it in a kind way or not? And, you know, maybe someone can take the tough love, maybe they don't. You know, that comes down to knowing the person and, you know, are they going to have an emotional breakdown because you're too tough on them, or are they going to just keep on doing what they're doing if you're too kind and delivering your feedback? Like, it comes down to knowing how the person will react and adjusting accordingly. So at some point, you know, after I start reading Gary Vee's 12 and a half, I might, you know, do a couple of videos because, you know, each of the, you know, individual soft skills, Gary Vee talks about how it's like, you know, putting all the ingredients into the recipe to prepare a meal, and each of the individual ingredients are important, you know, even if they're at a different, you know, amount. You know, you might have a cup of flour and half a cup of sugar in a recipe, and, you know, if you mess one of them up, it messes the whole recipe up. Well, you know, if you take 2 or 3 or 5 of these soft skills and, you know, you're doing one at 70% and one at 30%, you know, and another at 50%, you know, that might be that right combination for that right situation. But then, like, situation to situation, you know, it might call for different soft skills or adjusting the amount to cater to that particular situation. And so yeah, I'll potentially do a few videos on that, and I might come back to feedback or kind candor at some point in the next couple weeks also. So if you haven't already subscribed and you found this video interesting, consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification so that you can see when I do other interesting videos, and you can check them out then. And thank you. Have a good day.